And this is a project called My Neighborhood, which we've been working on with the city of Reykjavik since 2011, where a part of the budget of the new construction in the city is basically given out to people. And then people come up with ideas on what to build, and then people can have a deliberation about what should be built. Here's another example from our partner, the Scottish Parliament, which have used our Your Priorities platform to engage citizens on many different issues. This is an example of climate change in EU. And governments are more and more seeing the benefits of actually engaging citizens in this sort of a deep, meaningful way, because politicians, like we all are, faced with ever more complex decisions. There's a lot of technological decisions. There's societies are changing in terms of people expectations are changing and so on. And it's all happening very fast. So engaging with citizens in this way really helps to, sort of move information in the places where they are, can be used in a practical way. And this is another project in Iceland on a national level where the government was working on some changes to the constitution, or trying to make some changes to the constitution, and using an online platform, it gives a wide range of citizens the opportunity to take part. And but nothing of this would be very useful if we wouldn't have constructive deliberation. And when we did our first pilot project in 2009, the Citizens Foundation, we got a small grant from the Icelandic Parliament, and we implemented a project called Shadow Parliament, where we were getting laws from the Icelandic Parliament website, and we were giving people the opportunity to comment on them. And in the first evening back there in 2009, we had, some laws about fisheries policy, and we have this horrible personal argument that happens between the participants and about fisheries policy. And they were not even talking about fisheries policies anymore. They were just like, having a go at each other on our website. And I looked at my co-founder, Gunnar Grímsson, and we sort of looked at each other and said, oh, great, we created one more place on the internet for people to argue. But so from that day on, our mission was, how can we solve this? How can we have a constructive deliberation online? So what we come up with is a solution that makes it very impractical to argue. For example, you can't comment directly on other people's points. You have to write standalone counterpoints, and it encourages a rational deliberation. And we have an idea, and then we ask people, help us to come up with the pros and cons of this idea. So we are sort of nudging citizens into a more of an evaluation mode. And actually, surprisingly, many people put both points for and against the same idea. And that seems to be quite a universal sort of way of thinking about things, is that you have an idea and then you weigh the pros and cons. That seems to be in our platform, been used in 45 countries, and that seems to be sort of resonate with people. But also we have the minority and majority views have equal weight in the user interface, which helps facilitate consensus. And here's just an example. You have points for, points against, and on mobile you have the points are interleaved. So you have point for, point against, point for, point against. So it's like maybe you've heard of the thing called echo chambers online, like with social media, which means that you only see content that you agree with, because that's how some of the algorithms work. This sort of deliberation system is sort of the anti-echo chamber. We literally design the software and the website so you have to see the points from the other side. You can't go through, you can't keep on scrolling. They're right there always. And also quite often we have minority viewpoints, even if there's like like hundreds or 1,000 people who support something and only few who don't support it. Often the information provided by the person who doesn't like it is important. Maybe only very few people see a critical flaw in an idea that then often can be fixed. So the idea gets better